It's a tough week for Ruby.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And for the wanderers out there that don't know who Ruby is my dog. We have had Ruby she's going to be 12, I think, what we figured it up. I think she'll be 12 this February. Valentine's Day is what her birthday is.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's older than our kids.
That's 84 in dog years.
Yeah. She's an old gal, for sure. Ruby has a giant lipoma-looking tumor thing on her leg, on her front leg, like right by her elbow, I guess you would say. Looks like a ball sack hanging right there off of her elbow.
It to draw the picture, it legitimately looks like a baseball attached to her leg.
Yeah, tough spot. And for a long time, under the direction of our veterinarian, she said they're usually completely harmless. There's nothing, really wrong or anything like that. It becomes, nothing to worry about until it becomes a problem. And then when it becomes a problem, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
Well, it became a problem.
Yeah.
That nasty son of a bitch ruptured. Oh. Nothing came out of it, actually.
That's wild.
It is wild. I don't understand why, but it just happens, and it did. And so she's a Great Dane and a standard poodle mix. She's a Dane Doodle is what they call them.
Oh, Dan Doodle.
Or a Dan Doodle, or whatever you want to call it.
Dan Doodle. Did you know Dan Doodle lived down the street?
Yeah,
good guy.
What's his
Dan,
name?
a good
so
guy.
we actually got Ruby from a kennel in Portland, Oregon. We bought her on the internet, believe it or not. She came from Portland to Salt Lake via airplane. Salt Lake to Atlanta to Louisville, and then my mom and dad. My mom was actually going to her last appointment at Vanderbilt because she had remember when I touched her eye? Like she had a bilateral infection of her optic nerves and went blind for like a month. Craziest shit we've ever had to deal with. Took her to Vanderbilt, got her cleared, came back up through Louisville, stopped by the airport, picked up old Ruby Doo, and the rest was history, man. Best dog I've ever had. Anyway, pretty scary Monday morning wake up, and she can't get up. And then we were like, oh, my God, her leg's bleeding. There's blood everywhere. It looked like a crime scene. She sleeps on one of those big Serta dog bed deals.
Yeah, we got one too.
Yeah, right at the foot of our bed, like on my side. That's where she always sleeps. And like when I get up in the morning, I go to the bathroom, and then it's time for her to get up and go. And we let the dogs out, blah, blah, blah. Well, she couldn't get up, and there was blood everywhere. It was pretty traumatic, there for a while. Had to carry her outside, got everything going, and then she just slowly started to, get worse. And I thought, this is it. This is the end. Which we're still not out of the woods yet. We're still not completely out of the woods yet. But I guess my thing with you guys is, like, I've been calling your wife about 50,000 times a week, this week so far, and asking her about that because, she is we all know she's a veterinarian.
Yeah.
I was in a shitty mood Monday. It's just something that I'm not ready to deal with. And it's something that everybody has to deal with. But I think my thing with this is like, have you guys ever been in this situation before? Like with a dog? Like, have you ever had like a really, really, really long time dog? And like, I can think back of dogs that I've had that have died. But like this one really hits home. Like this sucks. No.
I mean, I had Madison.
Well,
She was
there
like my
it goes.
dog from 5th grade to college.
Yeah.
And she died when I was in college.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a bummer, but
Right.
Nothing, a bush light, and maybe something else to help you get through it, right, Dave?
22 shells. Yeah. Killed the damn thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll say this. So we have Bernie's mountain dogs. We got two of them, Monty and Murphy.
Yeah.
And Janelle will tell you, and I will agree, Monty's my dog.
Yeah.
Like, he don't listen to her. He's on his own calendar. But when old dad talks, because he thought he was going to be old alpha dog in the house one evening, and I came home from work, and he didn't want to come back inside. He thought we were playing a game. Well, when I finally caught that little son of a bitch, he didn't enjoy the walk back up to the house.
He learned real quick.
Yeah, he learned real quick. Ever since then, we've been straight. He and I, we've been, we're there. Murph, on the other hand, is a wildcat.
Yeah.
He's a wildcat.
Oh, bug-eyed Murph.
He's special. Old Murph's special. He was the run of the operation. Janelle, here's the thing. Your veterinarians don't win awards for the things they do for your family pets. And I'll be the first one to say, hands up, I did not before Janelle and I got together appreciate what veterinarians do for people and how those people, like, there's no way, like, she goes, well, would you want our kids to be a lawyer? And I was like, there's a lot of different things they could do. Like, that'd be cool. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, would you want them to be a veterinarian? Oh, I think it would be cool. And I'm like, no. I was like, the stuff you deal with,
right,
the people you deal with, the rude people you deal with, the people that call you that their dog's been sick for 10 days and they finally Saturday night at midnight want to try to do something about it.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Absolutely no way. But Murph ran away.
Yeah.
And
That was wild.
Well, when my mother-in-law called me and I'm in French Lick and she's like, he's gone. At first I was, which one? Because honestly, I was okay to deal with Murph more than I was Monty. I knew
Right.
Monty wouldn't run away. He
Right.
knows where his bread's buttered.
Right.
I was like, well, how long has he been gone? She's like, an hour. And I'm like, why in the hell did we wait an hour?
Yeah.
Because I got 45 minutes to get home.
Right.
So, but, there, like, and it wasn't so much for me, but it was, like the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, where's Murph at?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dad, where's Murph at?
Right.
Well, honey, he's out on a little run. Like, he'll be back. Like, we'll make it work.
Doing hood rat shit.
Yeah, he's out doing hood rat shit with his hood rat friends.
Right.
And then, like Monty was depressed about it because he's like, hey, that's
my boy.
I pick on him, but, I'm the only one that picks on him.
Right.
And then Janelle and Murph have a special relationship because she's battled his stomach issues and, Monty doesn't listen to her. So
Yeah.
Murph by default. And that was a tough feeling. And I got to the point where I told Janelle, I was like, well, we were stretching into day 2. And it's a great story. And like we were running around the neighborhood looking.
We did.
A bunch of people helped out looking. And we did the old school flyers. And a picture of Murph on an old school flyer hanging in, at the old Dutch Mart. At that time it was Blushes before we sold. And Ballsmeyer
Scotty.
saw it. And he goes, well, hell, I saw this dog yesterday playing over here in this field. He called me. It was like 6:45, 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he calls me.
Early riser. He's a farmer.
Yeah. I was there's no chance. And somehow how he got through to me, and I was like, just don't freaking leave.
Yeah.
Like, stay where you're at. I'm on my way. And I didn't even tell Janelle I was leaving. She just knew I was gone. And I get there, and it's Murph, and you feel happy and overjoyed, and now they...
Really not that far away from home either.
As the crow flies a mile.
Yeah.
And what happened, so on our back property, it butts up to, like, there's 4 corners there. It's kind of like where Colorado, Arizona,
Yeah.
whatever the other 2 states...
Or literally 4 other
Yeah.
states come together.
Yeah. And so I think he cut down through there following a deer trail,
Yeah.
got out into the other field, and then he just moseyed up the county road.
Well, that's got a lot of them.
And then and we're lucky he wasn't taken, which if anybody would check, he's cut, so they're not gonna keep him,
Right.
or that he didn't get ran over, and then he just played in that field because Scott said like, hey, I saw him yesterday, didn't think anything of it. He's out there just playing, hanging out.
Yeah.
And then I saw your flyer at Blushes, and then he's like, I realized. So then,
Oh, damn.
that's how it worked out. But
Yeah.
that was tough. And then recently, Monty's had some liver issues, and that's I've been, hey, bud, you came inside. Here's a treat. Hey, mom says you're only supposed to get in a cup of half of food twice a day. Here's a little extra.
Yeah.
And then Janelle's like, way overweight, liver's in bad shape.
Yeah.
And I was like, buddy, this pains me. But you're not around. You got to go longer.
Monday after work, I had to pick up Evelyn from cross country. And after work, I went to McDonald's and I ordered 6 McDoubles and a large Diet Coke. Those people in there probably thought the same thing as
User 697.
user 6977111. Like, this guy is a machine. And I gave 1 to each child, which left me with 3 McDoubles, and they're rubies, all of them.
Yeah.
And she ate. I've got like a half of one left, but we've been using those to put her medicine in.
Yeah.
Stuff the medicine, and then it's all downhill. But anyway, I think the craziest part about this whole deal is like there's actually a questionnaire. Like, is it time? A questionnaire where you go down through the list and you circle. You strongly agree. You're neutral. You strongly disagree. Sometimes, or whatever, and then at the end of the deal, when you get your totals, it'll tell you like where you're at.
Yeah.
And she's not there yet. She's like right in the middle of the road. She's just a senior geriatric dog.
Yeah.
And after like 4 days, well, what today is Wednesday, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 full doses of an antibiotic and like some meloxicam that helps with her joint pain and everything like that. She jumped up on the couch. Like, I was getting ready to have Janelle bring the shit home Monday night.
Yeah.
And put her down because it was bad. Like, Monday morning was terrible.
Yeah.
And it was just a mess. Like, it was something that I was not prepared for. And I tried to stay tough, but it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're not out of the woods yet. You know what I'm saying? Because there's risks involved in surgery and everything like that. Because she is, like Dave said, an 84-year-old and a human years dog. But it's like I told Janelle on the phone today. I was like, if this is what it's going to take to make her more comfortable, for the remaining month, 6 months, a year, however long she's got, and I know that it's time for her to check out, but at least she's comfortable, then I would feel better as opposed to her being miserable with that gaping hole in her leg from that thing without me doing anything about it. You know? And I think that's like Justine and I had the conversation, like, I don't know. I've never been in this position before, and I wanted to see, if anybody else does. But, like, it's not – this is, like, I've had some pretty tough times. I don't have any grandparents left. I've, lost close friends and shit like that before. But, like, this one's pretty tough, boys. Like,
I don't disagree with it because there's an old saying that you only get one like that. And that's what worries me because everyone after Monty will never stack up to it. Murph's grown on me. Like, I appreciate his wild, sporadic.
Oh, shit.
things.
That's how old Gus is. Gus is, that dog.
Yeah.
I got a Labradoodle named Gus. I run that sumbitch over with a Ranger, broke his leg. Janelle had to fix his leg that time, he's just a dumb dog. Chew the fat, lay around, bark at cats, shit like that, like dog stuff.
But still a good dog.
Yeah.
Our whole thing, like with Monty, is he'll be 6 in April, but he's been there for like the beginning of our marriage.
Yeah.
He's been there for the kids. Like
Yes.
and that's the stuff that build and like it's something like if you're not I can tell Dave's getting irritated by the
it's all right.
conversation.
It's okay.
I'm not.
He's good. He's in. He's good.
But there's some people that be like, you feel that way about a damn dog.
Yeah.
And I tell you, like,
And if you don't, you, because I'll say it as blatantly honest as I can,
well,
and that's serious.
And I would have never, because we grew up with dogs outside.
Yeah.
And I know.
Same with me.
I know Pop Frank, like, he's.
I can't believe you let these big bitches in your house.
Yeah.
That's how
they
my
sleep in
parents.
bed with you? Yeah. The Monty will jump up there and
See,
I'll
that's
scratch
where
his ears.
Justine drew the line. Like, she's like, hey, man.
Janelle.
Yeah, you're out.
Janelle in the beginning, she's like, that's a bad habit to start.
Yeah.
But I'd love it because he'd come up and I just scratch his ears and I'd fall asleep scratching his ears. And then Murph comes along and Monty will get up there still quite regularly, but every once in a while, Murph will beat him to it.
That's a big goddamn bed. You know
well,
that?
that king size bed gets tiny after a while, but
Yeah.
Murph will climb up there and he doesn't know when to leave.
Right.
Monty will get hot. He's gone. He's headed to the floor to lay down. Murph doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So you'll wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and the freaking bed shaking because he's panting. And there was funny story, Janelle. It was one of those nights where Ret Man slept through or was like on a good tear.
Oh no.
And it was freaking
then
Murphy. It was freaking Murphy that woke us up because he was panting in bed. And Janelle goes, out of all the nights where we can finally get some sleep, it's this damn dog. And I'm like, well, he is your dog.
That is
Shut up. But no, when it's Monty's time to go, and that's what I've told Janelle is that I don't want him to be in pain, and I don't selfishly want him to be here if he can't.
Yeah.
You know, kind of trot halfway down the driveway to greet you and bark and do all these other things. But she's put him on some liver meds, and he just needed a detox. He needed a little bit of a cleanse, Dave, and that's what he's got going on.
Yeah, a little ally.
But
little
like
line.
when I left for Indy, because Janelle's like, yeah, I'll do blood work on Friday and see what's going on. And like I left and I hugged him like he wasn't going to be there when I come back.
Oh no.
And I'm like, I'm a grown ass man hugging this dog.
You
that
know, I have been coming back into my driveway for a long time, like mostly through this summer when it was really, really, really hot. Because they stay outside during the day. You know what I mean? Just so they
I
don't-
know. I hear him bark all the time.
Exactly. So like they stay out during the day because we have, you know, electric fence and all that stuff. You know, and I thought to myself, because Gus is dumbass, he'll come right out of the garage. I usually kept a box fan on and everything in the garage where they lay down and stay in the shade and shit. And like Ruby just stopped coming out. And I just waited for this one of these days this summer when I would come home and like she would have checked out during the day. You know what I mean? And I'm like, but she didn't. You know what I mean? She's still around and everything. Well, then this little hiccup, you know, comes around. But I don't know, man. I'm not ready for it, and I know it's something that we're gonna have to prepare for because it's obviously the inevitable.
Yeah.
But it sucks. And if you need advice from anybody, I'm partial to my vet, but there's veterinarians out there. There's so much information that you can gather about this process that I had no clue.
That's
You know
the
what I mean?
whole thing.
Because I've never been in I mean, my parents have been in this situation. Like we had an old Cocker Spaniel. Her name was Pepper. She was my dog.
Yeah.
She had more tumors hanging off of her, heart murmurs, like that. It was, but I mean, she had surgery probably 5 times. My parents she was $1 million dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just because we're like, I'm not toot your own horn, but like we're good dog people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we take care of our dogs. Like that's what we do. And it's just
My mom
like,
spends an ungodly amount of money on dogs.
who's that?
My mom, she's like 4 inside dogs, big, like whatever you have.
Bernese Mountain Dogs? No shitter. That's cool.
Just big, stupid, fuzzy hair.
Dave's a really big dog guy, if you guys can't tell. He loves
I
everything.
always was until I had kids, and I think I just got a certain amount of love in my heart.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this.
And then
There's just not
I just
much
don't
left.
have any more left for anybody other than my kids.
Right. But yeah, like reach out to your vet. They'll help you out through this process. Anything you need to know about it, there's countless resources and everything like that. So
I've told Janelle that, maybe her employer ought to come on board.
do what?
That her employer should come on board as a sponsor.
Oh,
The podcast.
Yeah.
I'll have to follow up on that because we just gave a pretty good plug.
Yeah. For veterinarians in general.
Which, by the way, when it comes time to put old Rubes down, I will not be in attendance.
No.
I did that once. She needed help. Never again because it was brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. So anyway, T's and P's. Say a prayer for old Rube Dog, and hopefully she can pull through this one because I'm not ready yet.